Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your October 2023 tarot reading. Thank to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always. And I also pulled the 4 agreements, Wisdom, the Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by one of those astrology ites we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright. So we have Pisces, and Pisces is your second house of possession, self-worth, and finances. We have Saturn there. We've had Neptune there for quite some time as well. All right, we have Venus, and Venus actually had a retrograde recently in your opposite sign of Leo. It's going to be in Virgo for most of October. I think around the second week of October is when it's going to move out of Leo officially into Virgo. So that'll be moving from your 7th house to 8th house. And speaking of 8th house, we have 8. So yeah, like I said, 8th house energy for you guys is Virgo. At the time of recording this, we're still technically in Virgo season. But we're going to have Mercury still in Virgo until around the end of the first week of October. I mentioned how Venus will be there most of October. So yeah, definitely some 8th house energy going on for you guys this month for sure. All right, moving on to the main spread. Okay, if I could pick this card up. There we go. In the main situation position, we have the 7 of Pentacles, Taurus energy. And challenging that, we have the 3 of Cups. So I can see this going a couple different ways. For some of you, maybe you were doing it a little bit too much as far as the socializing and partying, and now you feel like you're having to play catch up around your work, right? Because you're like, okay, maybe I overdid it with the spending, or even just falling behind with your work, right? But what I actually feel is more likely for a lot of you could be the other way around, which is to say that if you've been working a lot lately and you're not really feeling inspired, feeling like your productivity is going down, could just be saying the key might be to actually take a break, reconnect with friends, maybe even family members, siblings, whatever the case may be, just to unwind for a little bit, and then you'll be feeling a little more refreshed when you get back to your work. All right, in the foundation position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is actually the major arcana card to represent Jupiter energy, which is in Taurus, which for you guys is your 4th house. So maybe you've just been in that type of cycle, right, where maybe you've just been a little bit more low energy, staying a little bit more at home, keeping to yourselves a little bit more. But if that's the case, I feel like this is saying that could be feeling a little bit revitalized this month. All right. Past position, we have the 2 of Pentacles. So maybe you guys have been trying to make some decisions around how you'd like to get your income as well, right? So again, maybe, like I said, if you've been feeling a little bit uninspired around your work lately, right? Maybe feeling like, all right, my productivity's going down because I'm not really connecting with the work the way I used to, right? I'm not really feeling as inspired to work as hard as at it as I was in the past. So it could just be one of those things where you could be exploring, like, oh, okay, is there another way that I could bring an income, right? Or if you feel like you're just not making enough in general, you might be exploring, is there a second source of income I could bring in, right, where I could actually still balance those two things without feeling overwhelmed. So that could have been some energy guys were exploring in the past. In the present position, we have the Lovers. So this is the major arcana card for Gemini, which for you guys is your 5th house, romance, creativity, children. So to me, this is a good indicator here. Well, other than the fact that it refuses to focus. But to me, this is a good indicator that you might actually get your creative spark back this month. So if you do need some kind of creative way to figure out how to balance your work-life balance, right? Could just be one of those things there where you get some good ideas around that this month. There we go. I only got it to focus. But yeah, and it could just be saying things might come to you from behind the scenes as well. So maybe spiritually you might see some signs and synchronicities that might nudge you in the right direction on how to tackle a problem. All right, in the near future position, we have the 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, it looks like whatever that situation may be, it looks like that's going to reignite a spark in you guys to where you actually feel like you're more confident tackling your work and actually enjoying it a little bit more as well. So definitely a positive there. And this could just be pointing to, like we said, given that Virgo energy for you is 8th house, and we saw that come up in the dice, and then we were talking about Venus being there for a lot of the month. It could just be one of those things where during the Mercury retrograde, maybe that was taking a little bit of the wind out of your sails, but now with that wrapping up and like we said, Venus moving in there in October, could just be one of those things where you're feeling a lot more positive about your day-to-day work. Right? Position of your influence in a situation, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So I could see this a little bit split too, where like I said, for those of you where maybe if you knew you were overdoing it, maybe partying a little bit too much, right? Taking a little bit too much time away from work, now you might feel like, oh, I have to play catch up. But again, I feel like that's a smaller percentage of you. What I feel for a larger percentage of you, this is saying is that, watch out for overdoing it, right? And possibly burning yourselves out in the process. All right, in the environment position, we have the 4 of Swords. So interesting because to me, these two messages play off of each other in a way too, which is to say that, this is something you're being nudged toward this month, but it's just a matter of how to go about it, right? Where if you're proactive about it, where you say, you know what, yeah, I'm going to take some time away, reconnect with friends, relax and unwind for a little bit. Or like we said, or if you push yourselves too hard and push yourselves to the limit, and then you end up burned out and end up out of commission for a few days, right? Either way, I don't feel like it's going to be a major ordeal, but it could just be one of those things where it's going to eventually lead you down the same path, but one's more comfortable than the other. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the 2 of Swords. So similar to the 2 of Pentacles, where it's like you're weighing options, right? But here, I feel like this is saying that you're hoping to detach from any emotional connection to the decision. You want it to be based strictly on logic, right? Because you might feel like, okay, even if I feel more emotionally connected to this path versus the other, maybe I've made a decision that way in the past, and eventually that emotional connection faded anyway, and then I might have wished that I had gone the other way, right? So it could just be one of those things where you're trying to make sure that you're able to make a solid decision around the situation. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So more Virgo energy popping up here. So quite a bit of Virgo energy popping up strong for you guys. But I feel like this is saying more than anything, if there was some kind of delay around your finances, right? If you felt like again, like we said, if you felt like you were falling behind financially, this could just be pointing to a solid offer coming your way, or the actual fruits of your labor coming into play. A little bit delayed, which would make sense because, like we said, we pretty much just had that Mercury retrograde wrapping up in Virgo, and it'll be out of shadow by the time we get to October. And then, like we mentioned, Venus will be moving into Virgo as well, so that's going to reinvigorate that energy for you guys this month. Okay, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. So, to me, this points to what I was feeling there with the 5 of Pentacles, where, like I said, you could just kind of watch out for potentially burning yourselves out by overdoing it this month, right? And then for others of you, like I said, if you were on that smaller percentage group that was more of the, you might have been overdoing it with the partying, relaxing, and letting your work fall behind, then that could represent the Tower moment for you there. We're like, okay, whoa, let things get a little bit out of hand here. Now I got to play catch up. So that's what I see with that. For your 4 agreements card, we have be impeccable with your word. It says release the need to be right. Okay, it says when you believe something, you assume you are right, and you may even destroy relationships in order to defend your position. Let go of the need to defend your position. Interesting message there. It doesn't really look like there's much of an energy of conflict. I suppose for some of you, maybe that 5 of Pentacles could represent a falling out with a friendship, but it doesn't really come across that way for the most part. But I hope it resonated with some of you anyway. Moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Breathed. There's the artwork, and the number is 29. So we'll see what this has to say. Nothing else, this could be another indicator that, like I said, for the majority, you might be more working toward the area of overdoing something and then needing to step away from it for a bit. But let's see what it says. Okay, central meanings. It says patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, trust. The oracle's message. Patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. So interesting how it says, allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body. Because, I mean, we're going to be entering into Libra season, of course. And we'll be in that for most of October, so but it resonated. The relationship message says, don't be in too much of a hurry right now. The heart needs time to open. Take a breath and let nature take its course. Release constriction and anxiety, for there is no need for tension. Savor the moment, and waiting won't prove difficult. Your heart knows what the ego often resists learning. Patience pays off in deep and meaningful ways. Definitely a positive message there as well. Now, I will say maybe that could be what the Lovers is pointing to for some of you, more of a romantic connection coming into play. And if that's the case, if you feel like maybe it's not being reciprocated initially, it could just be saying that the person you're dealing with could be going through a bit of a healing cycle. And with a little bit of patience, you'll see that move forward as well. The prosperity message says you have worked long and hard, your dreams are coming to fruition, and you want to hurry things along. You are the slow one, moving languidly, yet still progressing right now in a rhythm dictated by your authentic nature, the essence of your dream, and the will of the universe. Slow and steady wins this race. You will indeed win if you relax, stay the course, trust your intuition, and breathe. It's an interesting message there, because slow and steady wins this race definitely makes me think of that Knight of Pentacles energy. So, again, like we said, it could just be one of those things where you might need to just breathe a little bit, right? Take a step away from your work and just know that the work you're putting in is paying off, even if you're not seeing the results of it just yet. All right, moving on to your Mudra card. This is your Mudra here. It's the Chakra Mudra. The keyword for it is consolidation. All right, and there's the unfolding. If you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says centering and grounding, improves digestion, assimilation, and elimination, reduces gas and bloating, increases vigor and self-confidence. So if that sounds like a Mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.